Tomorrow in San Jose, a federal court will conduct a preliminary hearing in the case of 4 animal rights activists who've become known as the AETA 4. An attorney for the group says it's more than animal rights at stake in the case, but also freedom of speech. The 4 defendants are the first to be charged under legislation that took effect last year, the Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act. The 4 carried out protests outside the homes of UC Berkeley and UC Santa Cruz researchers who carried out experimentation on animals. Bob Bloom is the attorney for one of the defendants. He says the AETA is clearly unconstitutional.
There's a new statute that took effect last year called the Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act. Everything is terrorism. So what these people are accused of doing is, in pursuit of protecting the rights of animals, they did the most horrible things of all. They stood in front of the homes of animal researchers, and they picketed loudly to expose them to their neighbors. That's what they did, and that's what the government and this statute has decided is enough to be called a terrorist and prosecuted as a terrorist.
What are the charges against them?
The charges are violation of the Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act and conspiracy to to violate that statute. And the facts that are alleged is that they found out the names of animal researchers, they found out their home addresses, they went to their home addresses, and they picketed on the sidewalks and in the street. And they wrote words in chalk on the sidewalks and on the street. That's what they're accused of doing. That is First Amendment protected activity and is not a crime.
So that's what you'll be saying in court tomorrow?
Tomorrow we'll be heard on our motion to dismiss the indictment because the statute is unconstitutional. So that will be argued tomorrow. And there are very good grounds for the motion. Of course, we don't know what the judge is going to do. We'll see.
Have people been sentenced to prison terms or heavy fines under this act before?
No. This is the very first prosecution in the entire country under this statute. Now, there was a previous statute that was, I think, called the Animal Enterprise Protection Act, and some people were sent to prison for activities involving the use of Internet, and that happened in a trial in the federal court in New Jersey. Some really good people who were doing nothing but trying to protect animals and expose the facts about a particular research lab that was engaged in particularly egregious activities. So that's a previous statute, but this is the very first prosecution under this statute. And the government and Congress and President Bush felt that if you call people terrorists, it makes it really hard for them to get a fair trial. That's one of the things this is about.
Bob Bloom is an attorney representing Joe Buddenburg, one of the AETA 4 defendants. He says fighting the act is vital for the sake of preserving free speech rights for all activists. Tomorrow's hearing begins at 9 a.m. in the federal courthouse, 280 South 1st Street on the 4th floor.